Hey guys, so in this video, I am talking about one of my favorite things in the entire world, which is tanning. I have been self-tanning for a lot of years, probably 7. If you hear a ruckus, my pets are playing, so that's what that is. They're getting rowdy. Over the past year, I'd say, I started getting really serious about spray tanning. I have gotten spray tans in the past, but it wasn't really anything that I felt like I couldn't do myself until I found like the best spray tanner in the entire world. So if you're in the Detroit area, I do go to Bronze Beauty. If you are in the Detroit area, you've probably heard of her. She's by far the best. Gets me, of course, you can be any color you want, but I love it because she gets me darker than anything else in the entire world, and that's what I love. I love to be super, super tan. When I tan, I don't go in the sun a lot, so although I grew up being really tan and never really burning and having like a really olive base, I never really maintained much of a tan anymore because I don't want to get old ever. And so that's why I started getting super serious about my spray tanning. I do have like notes right here to make sure I talk about everything I want to talk about. So if you see me looking down or you see a little notebook, that's what that is. The first thing, obviously, if you're ever talking about sunless tanning, we're gonna talk about sun damage for a second. If you are trying to maintain good skin, being in the sun a lot is just something you're not gonna wanna do. So that's why I initially got super, super serious about my tanning, and now I'm just tan 365 days a year. Obviously less sun damage or no sun damage. And you also get instant results. Getting a real tan just takes too long, which is initially why I started self-tanning before I started getting older and actually seeing the effects of the sun. When I was like, okay, I'm never being in the sun again, but it's also just that like instant gratification, like you put it on and you're instantly tan. That's another big benefit, and it just is always even. You don't have to have tan lines. You don't have to make sure that obviously you hit all the spots. Like it's just always even, perfect, amazing. There's also like a pretty big difference, I feel like, between self-tanning and spray tanning. I do still self-tan sometimes, but it's usually just to kind of maintain my spray tan, or a lot of times in the winter, I'll just do like my face and chest and arms because nobody else sees the rest of me. But I already mentioned that she gets me a better color than I would ever be able to do myself, and it's just so much more even. Obviously, I can't ever get everything perfect, and if I'm using a foam with a mitt, like it's just never gonna look as good as like an airbrush, you know what I mean? It's just a huge difference. Also, another thing that I just noticed with me personally, this probably doesn't apply to everybody, but I for a really long time was struggling with a lot of like rash and eczema on my neck and chest. If you have followed me at all, you probably have seen me talk about that in the past because it was a really bad problem for me, and I noticed that it was more irritated when I self-tanned, and it just didn't look good, but I didn't care because I just wanted to be tan. But when I started getting spray tans, it went away. I knew that my self-tanning was making it worse, but I didn't know that it was literally caused by the self-tanner. The spray tan is just a lot more hydrating, and whatever magic she uses, it's just a lot more gentle on my skin. So I no longer have, I used to just like have these rashes like all over me, and now I don't. So that's like when I realized it was going away when I started getting spray tans, I was like, oh man, like I'm never going back to self-tanning again. Like I still will touch up sometimes if I need to. I'm pretty much solely a spray tanner these days. So if we're talking about tanning, the thing I'm gonna spend most time talking about is prep, because that is the single most important thing. Regardless of what kind of tanning you're doing, you got to prep your skin really, really well. And I think a lot of times girls just like get spray tans and just like don't take their prep that seriously. And I'm here to tell you, take your prep seriously. It will change the game. So I have a pretty specific method, and I don't want to like toot my own horn, but because I have been tanning for so long, I really think of myself as like the tanning connoisseur. Like I feel like even though I don't technically do it myself, I'm not a professional. I've never spray tanned anybody or anything like that, but I've gotten enough tans to know, and I've done enough self-tanning to know how important prep is. The reason that prep is so important is because when you put on a tan and you have any dry skin, any leftover dead skin, it's gonna grab onto that and it's going to be really dark and look patchy and uneven. Then obviously that skin is already dead, so it's gonna fall off faster, and then it's gonna be really light, and then it's gonna still be patchy and uneven and just not look good. So when I get a spray tan, I like to start my prep 2 to 3 days before. So for me personally, every time I tan, I'm removing an old tan. So if you're not a tanner, then I would still recommend to do all these things. Major pro of always having a tan on is you can still just like see where you need to exfoliate because it's darker than the rest of your body. But regardless of if you have a tan previously or not, I would still recommend to do all of these steps because you're just gonna get the most even, long-lasting tan. So yeah, I start my prep 2 to 3 days before. Something I thought for a long time was kind of like a gimmicky product until I was using it and I was like, oh, it actually kind of does work, but still felt like it was gimmicky. I had to not have it in my life to realize how important it was. And that product is a tan remover. So I personally use the Bondi Sands Self Tan Eraser. This is the only one that I've used, so I can't really speak to if other brands have better product. I like it because it's super easily accessible. They sell it at Walgreens, so I can just run up to Walgreens. It's not that expensive. But it's just a clear foam. You just pump it into your hands and just rub it all over your body. And then I don't know, how long does it say to leave it on for? It says leave it on for 5 minutes. I don't like set a timer. I'm not super serious about it, but I basically just pump it in my hands, rub it all over my body, and I just kind of hang out in the nude for a few minutes. So after I have the self-tan remover on, I have 2 different things that I do. So basically you're gonna hop in the shower, which is one method. I just like to get the water as hot as possible and just really stand in the water for as long as physically possible because I want my skin to get really warm and wet and soft because then it just comes off really easily. Another thing that I have just kind of recently started doing and I'm like, oh yeah, this works amazing, is I actually just get in the bath, and that's even better because you're just like soaking in a ton of water, and I tend to stay in the bath a lot longer. I just kind of make a thing of it, like I'm removing my tan tonight, so I'm gonna put on some Netflix on my iPad and take a bath and just really soak in there for a long time, and then it's like seriously, your skin just falls off. But you can do it in the shower too. It's like not that big of a deal, but the bath method is nice. So when you exfoliate, I'm really particular about this subject because I don't like scrubs. I think scrubs are the worst in the entire world because they're just like, you don't really have control over where the little granules are going. So I always use a mitt, but also I have a little bit of beef with just like those classic like gloves that you get at any store. I use a tan removing mitt. So this one is from Loving Tan. I know that there are other brands. I'm sure the other brands are great. This is just the one that I've had for a long time, and I used to buy a lot of Loving Tan and I would always get this as like a free gift, so I had like a lot of these. It's just a lot more aggressive and than like the other gloves. I should just get it and show you because I have those. Hold on. Okay, so these are the ones that I have. They're just like a literal glove. They come like this. These are nice if you're like, oh, I just want to be like soft and like have soft skin, then sure, they're fine. But if you want to remove like every last dead skin cell on your body, remove your old tan, whatever it is, this is not the way to go, in my personal opinion. I mean, it can do the trick if you're in a pinch, but I would just recommend getting a tan removing mitt. And I know that there's a ton of different ones on Amazon. I just personally haven't tried them because I have this one. So I just go to town and get all the skin off my body. So there are always going to be kind of like more tough areas. Obviously elbows, knees, wrists, hands, ankles, like those drier, your feet, those drier areas. Something I always have a problem with too is like right here. I don't know why, like right in my chest there. I notice like most people also have an issue there. I don't know if it's like we forget about it. You kind of, the more you tan, the more you learn the areas that you forget about. That one is one of them for me, and like the back of my legs, I also forget a lot. What you also want to make sure you're doing on the days leading up, we should be doing all the time anyways, but especially if you are going to be getting a spray tan, is making sure you keep your skin really hydrated. I feel really stupid when I talk about like body lotion and skin being hydrated and stuff like that. There's a difference between being like hydrated and having lotion on and like being greasy, right? But if your skin is healthy and hydrated, your spray tan is just going to look a lot better and also last a lot longer. I'm really particular about my body lotions. I'm still kind of in the process of finding one that I love. I ran out of it, so I don't have it to show you, but there's a Derma E one. See if I can post a picture of it or link it down below or something for you guys, so that way you can try that one if you like it. I just got this the other day, so this is new to me, but so far I do like it. This is the Roche Posay. Hope I say that right. This is for extra dry skin because my skin has been extra dry lately. So I've been using this, and so far I think that I like it. Again, I'm really particular. I feel like I sound weird when I talk about it, but it's like I want it to soak in, but I feel like most body lotions, body creams, body butters do one of two things. They soak in instantly and then don't leave you hydrated at all, or they just sit on top of your skin and you feel all moisturized and greasy, but as soon as it comes off, then your skin's still dry underneath it. So I just continuously try to find one that soaks in, doesn't leave me greasy, but actually does something. And I felt like the Derma E one did. I just decided to grab this one because it's a little bit easier to find in stores. Accessibility with products is something that's important to me. So, okay, so like this was 2 to 3 days before. So now let's talk 24 hours before. When you are 24 hours before your spray tan, you don't want to be exfoliating or shaving after that like 24-hour mark. I feel like it just kind of gives your skin a break and gives your skin like being ready to get tan, you know? 24 hours before, you want to do your final exfoliation, make sure you do your shaving now, and then still staying moisturized. And then on the day of your spray tan is you want to hop in the shower and make sure you get all your lotion off. So this is again kind of like a tricky situation because you don't want to use a body wash that's gonna be hydrating or leave any type of film on your skin. So what I personally do, I've heard people talk about using like a bar of soap, like Dove, to just kind of like strip your skin, but at the same time, I don't really want to like strip my skin. I just want to get the lotion off. So I just kind of try to like take the water and just do it with just my hands and kind of just rinsing off the lotion. That's what I do, and it seems to have worked pretty well so far for me. The day of, you don't want to put on any lotions, moisturizers, deodorants, perfume, nothing. I know that may sound like a little bit scary, like you're just gonna be walking around and being gross. I personally have never had a problem with it. I'm not a super like sweaty or smelly person, so maybe that's why. If I have to wear deodorant that day or I accidentally put it on or something, I will just like take a wipe and wipe it off before. So worst case scenario, do that. It's better if you don't though. So now let's talk about actually getting your tan. So when you go to your tan, you want to wear really loose, dark clothing. So think black sweatshirt and black sweatpants. In the summer, I'll just wear like a black t-shirt dress. Definitely wear black. Like it will get on your clothes. If you wear something else, it will. Like that's just how it is. So wear black. Let's talk about undergarments because that is important when you're getting your spray tan. Most people that do spray tans have disposable thongs that have just like a really thin string so you don't have a tan line or have much of a tan line. You also can just go full naked, which I have done before for vacations. If I'm like, all my bathing suits are different cuts, I don't really want to have any tan line, then you can totally go naked. At least I'm pretty sure anybody that does spray tans doesn't care about that. Or you can just wear underwear that you don't care if it gets ruined or it's black or whatever. Because I am a crazy spray tanner and I get them all the time, this small investment was worth it for me. I have specific spray tanning underwear, and I don't know if this is weird for me to be showing you on camera, but I'm gonna show you. I got this 5-pack of thongs off of Amazon. I think it was like a 5-pack for $5. Like, it was super cheap. And it's super similar to the disposable underwear that they have. It's just like this. It's the most like little tiny string in the entire world, but it's perfect because if you want to wear something and you want your tan line to be super minimal, this is great. I will leave these linked down below for you guys if you want to get them. If you're an avid spray tanner like myself, it's worth the money, honestly, because I mean, it's like not that much, first of all, and you can just wear them as normal underwear, and they're black, so you're never gonna see anything. It's just like a super thin band. So yeah, I'm crazy. Like, but that's how serious I am about my spray tans. I have my own spray tanning underwear. Like, it's whatever. So after your spray tan, whoever does your spray tan will discuss with you how long you should leave it on for. So that chunk of time is gonna be different for everybody, depending on the solution, depending on how dark you wanna be, all that kind of stuff. Like, I leave mine on like forever because I just wanna be so tan. So then when that time is up, you want to rinse it off because they spray a color on you, your tan develops on your skin underneath, but you need to go and rinse the solution that they sprayed on you. So what's really important about this shower is it's just water. No body washing, no shaving, no nothing, because all that is gonna start to break down your tan. So it's, I think, especially like in the first 24 hours after you had your rinse, and 24 hours after that, I freaking wouldn't touch it with anything other than, obviously, you can go back in with your deodorant and stuff like that. And then we come into the maintenance part of the video, which is staying hydrated. The more you keep your skin hydrated, the longer your tan is gonna last, and it's gonna come off a lot better. When your skin is really dry, and trust me, I can speak from experience, it'll literally look like your skin is cracking. It's just doesn't look good. It's gonna come off uneven. I mean, towards the end, it's probably gonna come off uneven regardless, but this will help it to last longer. And as much as you can, stay away from shaving a lot, because shaving exfoliates. So, and then also of course exfoliating. And like if you're going on vacation and you do get in a pool, it's gonna come off faster. If you get in a hot tub, it's game over. So, and like the more you shower, the more you sweat, the more you get wet, the faster it's gonna come off. Obviously, like, you want to live your life, and to me, it's not that serious. Just to make you aware of these things that are going to remove your tan faster. Something super random I wanted to touch on is something I get asked all the time, like, how do you not get it on your sheets? Like, you have white sheets, how do you not get it on your sheets? I do. My half of the bed is brown, like, to the mattress. It's browner. I would only go one of two ways. I would have white sheets or black sheets. Anything in between, I feel like, is just game over. Because with white, you can just bleach it and then it comes out and then everything is fine. And same with clothes. I wear a lot of white clothes, a lot of white shirts. And because, especially when I'm tan, because I like the way it looks against my tan. They all get brown on the inside of them. It just is what it is. But I haven't had too much of an issue having my tan come out of anything. There are like some shirts that I've slept in my tan, like while my spray tan is still on, and they're like a color and I have never gotten it out of, but now they're just my spray tan shirt. So if it's an article of clothing that you really love, like, be wary of that. If you have your spray tan on, you've already rinsed it off. Sometimes, like, I have it still rub off, like, honestly, like around here or like here, areas that you're gonna like sweat and rub more. Sometimes you do get a little bit, but I don't know, to me, I just don't really care. Like, I would just rather be tan, you know? I don't know. I get asked that all the time. How do you not get it on your sheets? I do get it on of course I get it on my sheets. All of my bedding is white, but that's why I got all white bedding, because I just bleach it and it's fine. I make my whole entire world about my tans. So, you know, if you don't, then maybe sleep on a towel. I don't know. Hey guys, I'm pretty sure that just about covers all of my tips and tricks and information on getting spray tans. If there's anything I didn't cover, any other questions you have, just leave them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah, I will try to link down everything that I talked about today, as well as Bronze Beauty. If you're in the area, go see her, she's the bomb. And yeah, I think that just does it. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. I hope you want to go get a spray tan now, because if you don't normally get spray tans, they'll change your life. So yeah, that's all for me today. I will see you guys in my next video.